So today I will be speaking about golden visas, which are paper residencies that are specific to Europe. And probably you have heard about some of them, but may not be aware of all the requirements. My name is Jelena Sichev. I'm a strategy manager here at Nomad Capitalist, and we help 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs go where they're treated best. So golden visas are basically temporary residencies that you can get by making a certain investment in a certain European country. So as mentioned, these options are specific to Europe, and only non-European citizens are eligible to apply for these options. And every golden visa starts with a bank account, a tax number, and making the investment. After which you have some documents to prepare, and your application will then be submitted. Once approved, you will have to visit the country to complete your biometrics appointment and collect the residence card. If you hold that golden visa for some amount of years, it can lead to permanent residence. And with physical presence, in some cases even language tests, you can be eligible for citizenship of that particular country as well. And not just you, but your children as well, your spouse, your immediate family, and in some cases, even your extended family like parents or grandparents. And these options, once you get the passport, it can be passed down through generations. With a golden visa, you can actually live in that country. However, you can also freely travel throughout the Schengen area without your passport and just with the residence permit. So even though, as I mentioned, you can freely travel, you cannot generally stay in any other country for more than 90 days in a 180-day period. So even if you are a resident of a certain EU country, it doesn't give you the right to live in another EU country. And this can also be prevented if you just go and register yourself in that country and simply stay longer, as there are essentially no borders between these countries. Now, many countries that are offering golden visas can also offer tax benefits if you decide to live there. So the first one that I'm going to be talking about here today is Portugal, and it is one of the best known golden visas and one of the best options in the European area for a residence permit that doesn't require a lot of your physical presence to get your permanent residence or to citizenship. However, it is important to note that starting January 2022, the investment amount for the golden visa has increased. So in order to be eligible now, you would either have to invest 350,000 euros in real estate, which is now located in Lisbon, Porto, or Algarve, or 500,000 euros in a venture funds. So the interesting fact about this, if you choose to go this route, is that you have to spend about 14 days every 2 years in Portugal. And if you do so and keep the investment, you can be eligible for a permanent residence there after 5 years, and eventually after 1 more year for citizenship. What this means is that to become a citizen of Portugal, after 6 years, you don't have to live there full time, but only spend about 2 weeks per year there. However, the process of getting citizenship can be quite lengthy. So even though it is officially, you can apply after 6 years, it will take about additional 1 or 2 years to get approved for citizenship. The next golden visa that I'm going to be speaking about here today is the Spanish golden visa, which is not as popular as Portugal. And one of the reasons being is that the minimum investment that you need to make in this country is about €500,000, and that is in real estate. If you want to invest in something else, the investment amount goes up. So it isn't the cheapest one, and it also isn't the best one when it comes to going towards citizenship, because it would take you 10 years to get to citizenship, and you would actually have to live there for 183 days in order to make that happen. As mentioned, one of the cheapest ways to get a golden visa in Spain is to invest in real estate, and it is generally a good opportunity to rent or lease the real estate there and have passive income. The process generally is the same as many other golden visas, but however, it takes around a year to get the golden visa. And the reason for that is that since 2021, due diligence checks are rather strict, and the processing time takes longer. So the process itself lasts about 10 months in total. When it comes to physical presence requirement, it is only required when renewing the residence permit. However, if you intend to apply for permanent residency or for citizenship, you then must live in Spain, which is the opposite of Portugal that I mentioned, where you don't have to live there in order to get a permanent residence or citizenship. However, when we're speaking about citizenship in Spain, the downside of that is that Spain generally doesn't allow dual citizenship. So if you're not from some Latin American countries, that have a agreement with Spain on that, you will generally have to renounce your previous citizenship in order to get a Spanish one, which for some might not be worth it. The next country that we will be covering is Italy and their golden visa options. Italy is one of the most popular golden visas for many reasons, and one of them is because it is one of the fastest ones to obtain. It generally would take you about 3 months to get an Italian golden visa once you make the investment. The minimum investment amount is considerably cheaper than some other European countries that I mentioned, namely in Portugal and Spain. One of the most famous investments in Italy is investing in a local startup that, and for that you would need to invest about 250,000 euros, which is the minimum investment in Italy, and alongside that, one of the cheapest ones that you can make and obtain a golden visa. The physical presence is not required for the golden visa in particular. However, if your goal is to become their citizen, you will have to spend 183 days for 10 years in Italy in order to become a citizen. You can generally apply for a permanent residence after 5 years of legal residence in Italy, and then, as mentioned, citizenship after 10 years. As you can see, you would actually need to live in Italy for the permanent residency status and for citizenship. However, there is a good side to that, is that Italy has a tax regime which can be very favorable for some people, where they have a flat tax of 100,000 euros per year and nothing beyond that. So if you're looking into living in Italy, getting towards that passport, you can pay this lump sum tax of 100,000 euros every year, and then earn as much as you want outside of Italy in excess of that amount. Now, if you're tired of tense governments and authorities and you want a bit more relaxed, worry-free lifestyle, Greece is the country for you. Greece is one of the most popular countries for the golden visa, as it is quite similar to Italy in terms of pros and cons. The process is one of the fastest ones along Italy, as it will take you approximately 5 months to receive your golden visa. When it comes to acquiring the Greek golden visa, what you will need to do is invest about 250,000 euros in real estate in Greece in order to qualify. However, now they are doubling the required investment in urban cities, and it will be about 500,000 euros if you want to invest in the capital or other big cities. And this change will be effective January 2023. When it comes to the physical presence, after 7 years, you can apply for citizenship, but if you do not want to live there, the good thing is that you can maintain the residence permit throughout your life without substantial physical presence, provided that you do not sell the property or lose the investment otherwise. If you want to get citizenship, as mentioned, it would take 7 years, and you would actually have to live there. Now, the bad side here is that if you get a passport, you might be eligible for being conscripted to serve the military in Greece for about 12 months. And this is valid for males between 19 and 45 years old. However, there may be some exemptions, some options where you can postpone your conscription indefinitely or until you reach 45 years of age. So that is kind of the downside of getting the citizenship alongside the requirement to live there. However, if you do decide to live there, they will give you a good, they have a good tax residency option where you can pay, again, similar to Italy, a flat tax of 100,000 euros regardless of your income. However, there are some additional requirements which you will need to fulfill in order to make that happen. The next country we'll be talking about is Malta, which is a popular tourist destination, and it's known for its warm climate and breathtaking landscapes. And in addition to this, the island is home to some of the oldest temples in the world. Considering a lot of programs that Malta is actually offering, including the citizenship by investment, Malta is more strict on the applicants. And in order for you to be eligible, you generally cannot have a criminal record, and you must be able to prove that you can sustain yourself, your stay, and your family without using Maltese social security services or being dependent on the country in any other way. To get the Maltese Golden Visa, you will need to purchase a property for the minimum purchase value of about 300,000 euros in the south of Malta, or 350,000 euros for the rest in the rest of the island, plus about 70,000 euros for government fees, which is something that they don't speak about very openly. Citizenship is generally possible after 5 years. However, in practice, it is usually more than 5 years, and usually it's about 7 to 8 years. And in addition to that, you would actually have to live in Malta for 12 months preceding the date of application, in addition to 6 months every year before you apply. There is also a language requirement, and you would be obligated to have ties to the country. And also this means that you generally cannot sell your property or withdraw your investment until the moment you get your passport in hand. If at any time you do that, your golden visa will be cancelled. Now, second to last country that I will be speaking about here today is Cyprus and their residence by investment. They will allow you to get permanent residence, and they generally offer you two options: the fast track option and the slow track option. The fast track option will require you to buy a newly built property that is worth at least 300,000 euros and show proof of annual income from overseas of at least 30,000 euros, including additional amounts for every member of the family, depending on the member. It could be between 5,000 and 8,000 euros for each dependent. And the funds must originate from sources that are outside of Cyprus. Now, if you're looking for a property, it's generally possible to buy two properties within this price range. However, it has to be bought from the same seller. Now, then you can also, if you decide to do so, replace the property after you get the residence card, so you're not stuck with the same property for a number of years. But if you sell the property and don't buy another immediately, you will lose your residence. Now, you have the option to invest in commercial properties, including offices, shops, hotels, or residential properties. And the properties that are of this category, commercial ones, could be either new or resold. With this fast track option, you can get a permanent residence in about 2 months. The slow track option would require you to buy a property and show proof of annual income from overseas of at least 10,000 euros. Now, there is no condition when it comes to the price of the property, so you can choose a property of your liking. It just has to be in accordance with the number of family members that are coming with you. So you cannot buy a very small property for a family of 4 or 5 people. So it has to fit all of the family members that are coming with you. The property doesn't have to be new. It can be a resold property, and you can again do the same thing. After you get the residence card, you can change the property, you can sell the one that you have and immediately buy another one if you want to do so. So the same rules apply. However, in this case, it will take you about 12 months to get to the permanent residence. In both cases, citizenship is possible after 7 years, but you have to live in Cyprus for 5 full years out of the 7 years. And one con to Cypriot citizenship is that you have to mandatory military service, similar to Greece. So that is one thing to take into consideration as well when thinking about Cypriot citizenship. The last option I'm going to be discussing here today is Latvia, which is one of the cheapest golden visas to obtain. And when it comes to the investment, there are various options that Latvia is offering, like capital deposit to a Latvian bank in amount of 280,000 euros, or an investment in real estate, which is valued at 250,000 euros. However, the cheapest option is starting a company that will require you to invest only 50,000 euros. If you choose this route, there is a one-time government fee of about 10,000 euros. And alongside this, you would need to pay annually about 40,000 euros in taxes. Whichever route you choose, there is generally no physical presence requirement to maintain the golden visa. However, if your main goal is citizenship, much like Italy and Greece and Cyprus, you have to live there. Now, after 5 years of holding a golden visa, you can apply for permanent residence, which you have to hold for another 5 years in order to work towards a passport. And in the 9th year of the legal residence, after integrating with their culture, language, spending time there, you can apply to be their citizen. However, before you decide to proceed with this option, it is important to know that Latvia allows dual citizenship only in some cases. So if you're from New Zealand, Australia, Brazil, you can generally have dual citizenship. So generally, Latvia can be a good option if you want a cheap golden visa and just kind of footprint in Europe. Depending on what you're looking for, will depend which golden visa might be the right fit for you. But in general, if you're looking for a base in Europe, in European Union namely, if you're not afraid to put more money in an EU country and you want to have the option to live and work in Europe, or you simply want a Plan B residence option without having to spend a significant amount of time there, these options can be, some of these options can be the right choice for you. And depending on what exactly you're looking for will depend which golden visa is the right fit for you.